The dream run continues for the Hungarian side, and they are looking strong, but it is their map pick and it is a best of three. And when I look at this game, I would say that though, when we look at it overall, a few rounds went the other way to Enterprise, but there was never real worry that Hungary weren't going to win that map.
No.
Yeah, it looks so good for the Hungarians and for all the people that pick Hungarians to win in the talent.
The smart ones, you know?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it like that.
While looking at him as well.
Yeah, just straight up like being
just remember, it's just one map. You know, that might bite you
like
back.
I said, it's important to trash talk like the whole like,
from the start, confident.
You know, just be confident.
Sure.
But yeah, the game was just a routine job for the Hungarians. They just run them over. I mean, we discussed it in the green room a little bit, how much sharper the Hungarians are than the Enterprise guys. Like they win almost every battle. It was just a easy map for them. And this side was all right. They threw in like a lot of different things. Yeah. Main split, secret split, ramp, like pops, upper hits, everything was there. So it wasn't like a one-dimensional kind of thing. Just let's just run and shoot. It was like a more of a mixed thing.
Yeah, that's what I would point out as well. You know, we discussed the concern before this game that in the first game there was no T side whatsoever from the Hungarian guys, but this time around, you know, getting together on a T side that is much harder than you could argue than the one on Mirage as well. A lot of different variations and also really good clutch situations or like after point situations, the nitty-gritty situations where you know you need to play together well, communicate well. They seem to be doing all of that. So yeah, that's great signs going into the second map, which is a bit of an unknown though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to come on to, right? Because Ancient is one of these ones where if you don't really know what you're doing, well, we've seen two teams do that already so far in this tournament.
We've seen a lot of teams do that already.
and it gets very confusing, it gets messy, it's like not what you would call a high level Counter-Strike at all. And for the Hungarian side, okay, we know that Enterprise will pick into it, they can have a look at some data on it, but do they themselves know what they're going to be able to throw into the mix on this? Because, boy.
The thing is, like, first map, last time it went to the Hungarians' way, like it was nuke again, they just destroyed them, it was 16-9, 16-8 I think. So this was kind of expected, right?
Yeah.
And we saw yesterday a glimpse of teamwork from Enterprise on that Ancient against Wisla, was it?
Yep.
And that can maybe save them in this best of three, but like I'm just strictly looking like raw skill-wise, I think Hungarians like much better.
Okay, so we're going that far with it. All right.
No, I mean I would agree with that. I mean at least the sample size that we have right now, it does indicate that way. And also, you know, I'm sure the Hungarian guys were able to figure out what map was coming through. They can go through some of the demos, are going to prepare for what they would expect on the map, get a couple of good anti-shots going in the right situation, and things go your way, and you already had a healthy lead in the game.
It's also the confidence wave, you know. You're just winning every battle. You enter the second map, you just feel strong, right? Confident, strong. You just maybe win the pistol after that, and they're straight in the win.
Would you say though, when it comes to Ancient, it's still a map you can get away with that, or do you think there's some sort of like tactical misunderstandings that they won't be able to maybe know their smokes or flashes? Because we spoke about just like, oh, you're just going to hit the A site over and over again. For example,
meta
right? Can they just
now,
run through?
Meta right now is pretty simple, straightforward, right? Yeah. Fight for banana or fight for middle. That's it, right? And then A site is just being hit in like super late or super slow, whatever, right? So nothing really crazy. You don't need to expect here. They're not going to invent anything new on this map.
No, for sure. And now Hungary is going to get to start CT aside. They can maybe throw in a bit of aggression, you know. In a couple of right moments, you get that aggression in, and that's going to affect Enterprise massively because of the dumpstering we just saw in the first map as well.
Well, if it goes that way again, it's going to be bad times for Enterprise, but they would still have a chance of this. Remember, this could be Team Hungary straight away qualifying into the main event and probably going up against some of the best opposition they've faced in a long, long time.
Ever,
yeah, probably.
Minus Dead Fox.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You still remember Dead Fox over Bondic though, so what does that say about Bondic, Martin? You know, like you reference Dead Fox, we haven't had that for a long time.
Did Bondic and Dead Fox play together?
Probably, yeah, Hellraisers, yeah.
What do they say now not to?
No, the point wasn't whether or not I remember Bondic, I just wasn't sure he's
well, you remember him after this.
Yeah, he's showcased himself, sure. He's still around.
Still around.
That's an accurate description of his performance today. He was around.
He also still has the weirdest gaming posture you've ever seen.
Yeah. He's gonna need a chiropractor after this, but yeah. after this CS career thing.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe he should have thought about that a bit earlier, you know? Good posture and all that. We got some commentators though who are young, healthy, and won't need a chiropractor anytime soon.
And Brong in the
Well, one of them's wrong.
Yeah.
Production? There they are. There.
Took a while. I was wondering who they were trying to figure out who the young people were. I think it's pretty easy to see, but we're hopping into this second map, Ancient, coming up. I'm looking forward to heading into this one. You know, you're looking at Ancient as a map that yesterday had a lot of mistakes coming through, so I'm hoping to see a tighter game coming out today.
This is all part of the plan for Enterprise, all part of the plan. I don't think Hungary have played much Ancient, if any, in the last 3 months, so I'm feeling good, I'm feeling fine. They're going to calm down, they're going to be fine here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if Hungary can pull off the 2-0 and head through to the main event for their countrymen here at their own LAN in Budapest. It's been a tough road, I think, for a lot of the teams here in this competition to be able to make it through to this stage. You know, you look at some of the teams they had to beat the best. Even though it was upsets and best of ones yesterday, they still had to beat the better teams in front of them. And I think Team Hungary were one of the biggest upsets of yesterday. I'm excited to see if they can do it all and make it through into the 2-0 fashion into the main event. Now, the team's starting to arrive now for the main event. If anybody is unaware, we are currently in the play-in stage of this tournament. In the main event, we've got the likes of Gambit, we've got Entropic, we've got Big, we've got solid teams heading into the main event, Hawker. And for a team like Team Hungary, they haven't really had the shot to go ahead and play against some of these bigger teams yet. And the same can be said for Enterprise. So one of these teams is going to get a shot at getting into that main event at the end of this best of 3. So a massive prize on the line for these sides.
In fact, that's a perfect segue, Dinko, because I was looking up the biggest prize pools that these teams had won previously. Team Hungary, as Budapest 5, 8,000 euros, I'm pretty sure, was the highest prize they've ever won.
Yeah.
For the Enterprise guys, 7,000 euros. If you make it to that main event, there's 300k on the line. You could just have a couple of upsets and suddenly you got your biggest payday in a long time, potentially ever. So a really important matchup for both of these teams, and they're ready to get into Ancient.
Although looking at the Bulgarians, they're never going to get a bigger payday than what their WSG payday, but they might get paid. That's the difference. But here we are at the beginning of Ancient as we head into the pistol round. Fleeve in particular had a fantastic start for Team Hungary at the beginning of his pistol just a little bit ago. As we transition into the game itself, we'll see if we can do that again, or will Enterprise stop the good start. Now that is certainly a topic to talk about. They don't want to go down 5-0 again, Hawker, at the beginning of this map.
They didn't win either of the pistols over on the first one. They're taking it slow here at the start of Ancient. They were looking into that A side of the map, but Corey's just faced in towards mid. Long-range fight against the Glock goes his way. Enterprise finally doubling back to A, but only coming in through main. There is a chance they could get caught in that choke point. I like this reposition from Hungary too. Now they've got the man advantage, they don't have to fight as hard for the site.
Yeah, now you could just play from Donut. There isn't going to be too much utility in a pistol round, so you're not going to be able to smoke it all. For Molia to put pressure onto it with utility. So I do like this call from Team Hungary as they drop back into the side again. They now know it will be that A play. And Coolio is going to be under a lot of pressure alive, coming in with a headshot. The Glock of Adias finding the follow-up towards Donut. And 2 players drop into the CT side. And that advantage now relinquished as Fleeve continues to move forward. Nice little contact play on the timing. Just catches his window of opportunity, but tried to drill out 1 versus 1 against Adias and couldn't quite pick it up. But Corey on the way to the temple has spotted the back of 4C, who unfortunately for Corey will turn around quick enough. And now Aaron's position known, position spotted, and position destroyed. Enterprise to win the pistol on the T side. Incredibly important start here on Ancient.
Now they lose that first player, but doubling back to A ends up being a good call for Enterprise. The crossfire for Team Hungary was just never established there. They were hoping that they could just tuck behind that default sight box after being spotted and that the Donut player would be able to help. But as soon as the Glocks just start rushing onto the site, that's the exact close quarters fights that you want with those Glocks. Getting onto the site itself, you can already see that Enterprise have got their nade protocols down. That's the smoke for top mid, as well as the molly for the Donut side. That makes it really difficult for the CTs to challenge mid early.
Much easier to do it around like this, right? CT side generally have the advantage in terms of taking mid.
4 scalps is crazy, by the way.
Yeah, that is pretty wild. And Badito, Fleeve.
Imagine having to retake in this round. You just give up straight away.
You just don't want to do that.
Oh, and even that's not gone well for Fleeve.
Yeah, Mine gets charging forward with the Mac 10. Aaron.
He's behind them.
Helping back in behind Pillar.
Uh-oh.
He's about to walk through the smoke. Mingus catching out Aaron. Sound cute. You know exactly what to do with that one. And now the T side with the advantage of 2. Start to consider their options as they think about a play into the B side. There's only 1 player here, and that is Corey for the CT side. Only has the 5-7. Can't do much about the bomb plant. I don't think he can do much at all in this round. His teammates on the other side of the map are saving because if they were to commit to this, they're not going to win it. So they're going to be trying to bring some weaponry over to the next round. And Corey, with 2 fantastic kills out of the 5-7, not only is he making it expensive, he's got himself a rifle to play with into the next if he can get through.
5-7 gamers rise up.
Sees that superiority though, Hawker. Always.
5-7, man. Just taking kills. You got more bullets. If you're a noob, you can just miss shots and still get the kills.
No, I mean, 5-7 is certainly a very good gun. I think we see a lot of pros picking that up now. CZ took over again for a long time. It used to be the 5-7. I think the meta kind of shifts and changes as the weapons get changed around. But remember the old talking point of the CZ used to be, it's like a mini AK because you get a kill with it and immediately gets you an AK on the CT side. If you pick it up, you just fire your way through the CZ. You can find yourself a nice AK in your hands pretty quickly on, but yeah, long range, not so great. And in particular on a map like Ancient, you do actually have to fight a lot of long range fights in mid. It would be good over towards the B side of things. We do that 5-7, enjoying some of these close angles that are available to position at inside of cave.
So Enterprise running this same mid control again. We'll see if that's a constant theme for them here on Ancient, which is the map they won against Vizsla to get to this point. Lead pushing down through B. Attempted aggression, but it is hard to win all those fights, especially when there are Ts on separate angles there. Looking nice and easy here for Enterprise.
Corey. The 1 kill on to Diaz. Now just Bedito left alone into the 1 versus 4. Scout in hand as he drops on back. Top left of your screen, you can recap the scoreline that what happened over on Nuke. 16-6 win for Team Hungary. Their map pick confirmed to go their way.
You know what I need in my life, Dinko?
What?
I need Bodito to sing a remix of Despacito, except he goes, "It's Bodito."
No, please no, please no. How is this? How have we delved into madness this late in the day, this early in the day? It's like 5:58. How has this happened? How have we got this level, Hawker?
That's not mad. That's a great branding opportunity for Bodito that he should hit me up and we can make happen. We'll put some auto-tune on his voice.
Work with our sponsor at the bottom of the screen, TikTok, and you can maybe make something there, I think.
Exactly. And he can be doing a cool dance to it. It's great. This is fantastic.
Maybe we can get the whole analyst desk involved as well. Maybe get Banks involved, Natu.
Did you just have a fight with your mic?
I did.
Just give it a punch.
I punched myself. I was doing my TikTok dances, man. I just smacked my mic out of the way. Yeah.
He got too into it. Well, back to the mid control for Enterprise, and it doesn't look like Hungary have the ability to contest. A lot of early utility used here by the Ts to gain this ground, but it's successful for them. And ooh, Bodito, I don't think that's the smoke he wanted.
No.
And it costs him.
He ends up running into the wall, tries to throw the smoke, ends up just popping into the left side, and leaves a massive gap to play with. And there's another gap in this smoke, but Coolio will certainly play with that. Gets 2 kills back here for the CT side. They look back into tempo because they know they're getting split, but he can't do much about it. Coolio down and out. Now 3 versus 3. A minute and 10 seconds left as Aaron now brings himself over towards Donut. He's got his teammate in behind him to try and back him up. Enterprise yet to plant the bomb. In fact, they're yet to really take full control of the A site. They do have tempo, which is incredibly important into post plants, but the bomb isn't down yet. That could be a big problem here.
Corey moving into the advanced angle. We hear those shots landing, so he knows they're coming, but he still can't win the fight. Full control of the site, and the smoke should give cover for the bomb plant briefly. The flash helping even further. Another flash. He's so blind.
Yeah, follow-up flashes just keep popping in, and this is keeping them outside of the site for now as they now try to come through Donut. They know exactly where their opponents are, and Enterprise flip it on its head. Starting to look like Coolio might be able to drag them through that kicking and screaming, Hawker, but not enough as Enterprise take another round.
I mean, we were wondering if Hungary would have all those nade lineups down. They haven't played much Ancient. I can't say that when you're underhanding a smoke that you don't know the nade lineup. You've just messed up the smoke there at top mid. That's the only explanation. Yeah.
He ran into the door that was sticking out a little bit. I think we've all fluffed our lines every now and then, but it's unfortunate to watch it cost him so much. But Coolio, good awareness of the gap underneath the smoke as we go back to the mid-control protocol. 4C is getting out towards elbow. In this kind of round, Team Hungary don't have a lot of utility available, so it's not like they can double Molotov that. It's not like they can keep them back with util. So easy time of things as Fleeve connects onto the molly, so they know there's one player playing aggressive in towards Cave, and for that, they likely will go down. They're going to use some utility to clear out this close corner. So often you get this crossfire between 2 CT players. It's very good and very viable in rounds where you have some weaker weapons. So just clearing that out with a Molotov just makes you feel a little bit more comfortable if you're on the Enterprise side about entering Cave.
Hungary lucky to get away with their lives there, honestly. Matties will probably be a bit frustrated that he couldn't get that kill. Here comes that the aggression, again being held for. Matties holding close by, takes one, and eventually they will take two towards B, which should net them the round now.
Oh, Mangus at top mid with the frag on a Coolio, and it's closed out by 4C. Good start here for Enterprise. You talked about them going down 5-0 on the other map at the start of the day on Nuke. Now they're up 5-0 on Ancient. This is a fantastic start out of Enterprise, in particular because of what Kassad said and Natty were bringing up on the desk about the T side being quite difficult here to pull off rounds on an Ancient. So if you've got yourself 5 rounds at the beginning of the game, this is a huge buffer zone right away on your T side for Enterprise. You're going to be feeling very happy about this.
It doesn't feel like Enterprise have had to dig too deep to get into that position, right? They've gone for the mid control consistently. They've always been able to get that. And then it's just a case of working from there and finding the site which they can move towards more freely. So we'll see if Team Hungary decide it is time to put their foot down on mid, or whether they decide that they can just play further back. See, some of those smoke lineups can be dependent on spawn. Enterprise just threw that top mid smoke from spawn, but this time Hungary have held on to mid early. That's because Enterprise are all over towards A, though.
Yeah, the charge in towards Coolio at the ready with his A1S. Pulls out a piece of utility to chuck it down after the right side. As smoke goes through, Mattis and 4C coming in with a couple of kills. They trade out equally for blow, but finally it is Enterprise who will come out on top of these engagements on the A side. They've got a man advantage, but they've decided they're going to leave A. They're going to run it back through A main, thinking the rotation will have already come through, and thinking they have an option to go over towards B quite quickly. Now, CT should get an idea of this in just a moment. As they start to clear out mid, they realize that mid play is not happening. Enterprise are running it to the B site.
Corey could get into a position before they even get in towards B here. He's pushing in from Shelth. He might catch them in the back.
Oh, and he will. That's the bomb of the back as well. You don't want to be caught with that in your hands. So Mangus continues to run forward. You're live worried about the potential rotation from A, and unfortunately, just worrying about it's not going to do enough. You have to actually deal with the threat, and they couldn't do it. So now 4C caught in the open, dead to rights, and you almost feel like Enterprise could have maybe continued the commitment into the A site, and if you make that decisive call, trying to get there before the CTs can make that rotation back, just get caught on the timing a little bit there.
Yeah, Enterprise had the 2 mollies deep into the temple position, and I thought that was what they were going to use to get the bomb down. Just double molly in towards temple, make sure that angle isn't one you have to be scared about, and then you can just try and plant. But it didn't look like they were quite in a position to do that, so unable to get the bomb down quickly. They weren't confident. They do still have plenty of money for this round, though, and this time they have got mid-control, but it's mainly the players pushing up into B, and Adias just goes through the smoke, something that Corey had no clue was coming.
Yeah, it's a lovely play from Adias, understanding what could be going on the other side of things as Mangus eliminates Fleeve at the beginning of the round. It seems like Team Hungary a little out of their depth right now in Ancient. Having to struggle some time here on the CT side. 2 players down, Petito with the double on the FAMAS. And it's all along Coolio. 1 versus 3. It's had a couple of good multi-kills across the series over on Nuke. 2K in this game so far, but they're the only 2 kills you've been able to find. And Neil even had a good time there to peek onto 4C, but he gets the scope back in time. 4C picks up the frag, and we're now 6-1 on the scoreboard. Enterprise mounting their comeback, not only in the series, but this is just unbelievably strong on Ancient at the moment. This is on the T side, Hawk, and they're doing this.
Does he have a towel next to him?
Just to wipe the sweat off your hands, Hawk.
I remember Keto having just so many paper towels next to him. Whenever I saw him play, he would literally have a bin full of paper towels he was using to wipe his sweat.
Right.
So a towel might be a better idea.
Yeah, much better for the environment, all that. Keto will be at this event. The main event for Big will start soon, and one of these teams will be joining them in that main event at the end of this best of 3. Fleeve continues to move forward through Cave with Deagle in hand, gets caught by Adias, and that's a good start here for the T side. Man advantage locked in.
Now seeing Enterprise not just always focus on that mid control, but also start to show their presence towards this B side of the map. They were winning the early fights here, but Aaron has been one of the shining lights for Team Hungary so far. Lucky to be alive there as 4C was holding the angle. It's a shot that most AWPers will feel like they should hit almost every time. It is at least a 4v4. Angus coming back, but they haven't cleared Corey. If he gets this kill, there's a chance he could try and recover an AK here.
Corey.
Oh, they've lost the sight, though.
In behind. Mangus brings him down and has an AK, but yeah, they've conceded site control. So bomb will be planted. CT side, not a lot of utility, not a lot of expectation for them to get back into this round. They have got an AK. Corey might even just consider saving that for the next round and instead of really throwing it away to the Wolves for no reason. Yeah, starting to lean around on the bottom of B. Some cash, of course, available for the CT, so trying to see what they can get out of this, see what they can squeeze out of the round, and not really getting too many opportunities here because the T side is winning every fight. Aaron now tries to win the round on his own, pulls out the deagle, and a swift death from the AK of a Diaz. 7-1 for Enterprise. Team Hungary, they're going back to the buy.
A lot of early success for Enterprise, so Hungary are going to have to stop these rounds spiraling so quickly. Another tactical timeout will be taken. This is one of those scenarios where if you don't have much experience on the map and you feel like you're just getting outplayed in default rounds a lot of the time, it is hard to adapt. But I maybe would like Hungary to actually just group up and take some CT aggression together, just turn it into an absolute brawl, because that's an option on Ancient. You can push down towards B if you want to with some mollies. You could maybe push towards mid and try and take the fights there. Can definitely try and take some CT aggression on this map, so time for that to happen here for them as they are currently at 7-1 down. At least they have the guns out, but we have to see an improvement soon for Hungary. Otherwise, a third map is starting to become a likely prospect.
Borsi running forward with the AWP, gets caught by Aaron at the top of the B ramp. Good kill from the A1S as the net stack comes in to try and force the T's back. Hungary have got the man advantage and they've got that map control. They've forced back any potential early ramp play. But for Enterprise, they've got to look for their options elsewhere.
Good to see some flashes put down there just to stop some of that early aggression up the B ramp. Well-timed flash, well-timed peek. Just get that early kill. And now Hungary should feel a bit more comfortable sitting back in their default stance on the CT side.
Petito just shoulder peeking with the knife out here to try and pick up some information on the potential donut peek. He's not looking to fight here at all. He's just looking to move as quickly as possible, which is why he has his knife out.
There's no one in red room for the CTs, though. So even if he spots someone, the T's could move up into top mid, and that could be scary. I think Petito made a step there, too.
He did, and he had to pull his rifle. He tried to go for the fight, but he's lost his life. And with that donut player going down, now an opening into the A site. Rotation coming back from the B site now as well, with two players trying to get there in time. Coolio tried to get more out of it, just couldn't do it. And now Mantis, oh, he's so ready for Aaron to try and rotate through B lane. And with that kill, it's actually opened up a chance and an avenue back into the B site instead. 30 seconds left and multiple options available to Enterprise. They're looking into the B hit now as the rotation's starting to come over from the CTs. They have the right read. They're going to get here on time, Hawker. There's a shot for Fleeve and Koi to win this. Not a lot of time for the T's either.
Yeah, and they don't have nades. So this AWP has a real good chance for landing a shot early.
Fleeve has hit it. Straight on towards the site. Corey's now moved forward. Just one player left, and they don't even get the bomb plant. Corey with a shutdown. And again, Enterprise try to go for the lit round play into the B site, but the rotation is just so quick.
They clearly didn't expect the second player to be there. They thought it was just maybe the AWP rotating over and just getting into that position. In from CT, but the other player, Corey, waiting in the wings, says that you are not going to be getting onto the site this time. This is my house.
Corey
in the house.
I like that one, Hawker. I remember that kind of just signals something in my head, a memory that I forgot I even had. I watched that.
Wasn't sure if it was before your time or not. Oh, here goes Fleeve.
Well, Fleeve, great start. It's a quick B play here from Enterprise, trying to up the pace, but look at Team Hungary. They're holding on to it. They're finding the shutdown, and Corey in the house goes down. Minecast comes into play. There's 3 players left out for the defenses. They now swing around, and Fleeve is the man to close it. Team Hungary do a fantastic job at holding off that play into the B side. I do like the call, though, from Enterprise to change up the pace. A little bit of spice in life.
They didn't have the perfect buy either, so they had a couple of MAC 10s. They decided that they'd rather just fly in with those SMGs first. And those B rushes can be fairly effective. If you just force that bomb plant quickly, can put you in a much better position. But this time, Hungary get that early kill, which helped them significantly. Once Fleeve lands that first shot, they kind of know what's coming on the B aggression. And Hungary finding a bit of success now, not just with the round wins, but also with the economy game. Blow by for Enterprise here. Should be easy pickings. Although you don't want to miss too many of those sitters, Fleeve.
He's going to get out of dodge. They should realize, all right, we're up against some weaker weapons here. You don't want to be in a position where you can be overwhelmed and overrun. And Corey is going to line up 3. He's got a lot of kills in the recent rounds. He's tried to pad out his stats as well in an eco here. Aaron wants a piece of the pie. And a DS on the other side of the map. 1 versus 5 now with the Eagle. Started his walk through the A site. Coolio has just relieved his presence on the A site, dropping back into Donut. The DS doesn't even have the bomb in his back, so it's not like he can slip through for a bomb plant. Not too much available in this round at all for a DS. Maybe a kill on the way out. But should be a nice clean round in the end for Team Hungary. And they will close it. A DS goes down. So 7-4 on the board. Team Hungary. Obviously, they did use a lot of time, Talker, but it looks to me like they've figured out how to get into the game.
Definitely looking better for them. Just getting that early foothold in the round has helped them significantly. We'll see what Enterprise fall back on now, though, because early in the half, it was a lot of mid control for them that they were using effectively. Now that they have the full utility and rifles back out, maybe that could be the fallback plan for them. It leaves you with options.
Oh, they're going to disrespect
They have got
it.
back to mid.
Yeah, they disrespected the elbow utility by throwing down a smoke under the mollies, but Corey, he's playing with that missed red room smoke, and he's got a double out of it. And Alive will take him out. Corey down out of the round. You could throw that smoke down as a CT and just play in and around it. It allows you to have some cover to fight off the early plays through, and it's worked out so well for them. They've got all of the early picks here. The 2 versus 4 is the T side. And we're in a very rough spot. They tried 2 quick rounds now in Gun Round Talker. They've come to a halt pretty quickly in both.
That's impressive for Corey there to fight ahead of that smoke, take that risk on the mid control. Not just getting early kills, but also getting that early information so that Fleeve is just waiting for Alive to try and be the playmaker in through the red room. Just holds the line with the AWP. That's a great shot from Forzy, but they still need more to pull this back. And Aaron's pushed all the way down through B. That's something else that Hungary are doing slightly more now. Getting aggressive on B once they spot that mid control. It's getting them all the information they need to lock down the map elsewhere.
Yeah, Forzy doesn't have much of a shot here. He's down so low on health now coming out of mid, where they really just begun the round. Might just be where they ended as well. Aaron starting to get a little bit antsy, wants some information as to where this last player is, and he'll find it inside of middle. The problem is, though, for Team Hungary, it's fantastic they're getting back into the game, yes, Hawker, but the best case scenario for them is an 8-7 half from the CT side here on Ancient. That just shows how strong that buffer can be. Getting those first 5 rounds on the board for Enterprise is going to make them feel very comfortable, even if they don't get a single round out of the T side from this point onwards. So definitely want to try and get into the game mentally, and that's why they're going for a tactical timeout here to see how many rounds they can squeeze out of this first half.
Definitely important that they stay on top of this. Feel like you got off to the good start. Sometimes teams might just get ahead of themselves and take a little too long to take the pause. Enterprise have clearly realized that this is quickly falling back from them. Is this a full wireless mouse team?
Oh man, I switched to the wireless mice and there's no going back. There's no going back, Hawker.
I don't care about the cable, I'm used to it.
No, it's just, you know, the modern sensors are just better as well.
Okay.
Just feels so much better. There goes Aaron, down the B ramp. Gonna go around the corner. Live is close with the deagle, and Aaron's about to swing into it. The AK could be overwhelmed here, but Aaron handles it so well. Double kill for him. Adias and the Alive out of the round. And Corey, from the cubby, gets 2 again. The amount of multi-kills he's had, just yes, against some weaker buys, but a lot of impact rounds as well. You've seen that in the previous gun rounds. Corey is really starting to come into his own right now. And for Hungary, that's a fantastic showing because in the first map, we talked about how good Fleeve and Aaron were. And now we've got another player added into the mix as well. You've got Corey you can look at as a potential player to stand out for Hungary. You really do need these 3 players to step up. And if they can start to commit to their own, I'm excited to see what they can do. Nice shot for Forzy. Fleeve trying to go for the knife. He doesn't end up taking the USP kill on the way out. But Hungary's starting to feel confident now. 6-7 is the score.
Aaron's having good impact too now with that B aggression. He's just consistently taking that control, whether at the start of the round in this one, or sometimes partway through the round. You get the info elsewhere.
I think we've got to give some props to the support staff here at the Team Hungary side as well. Coach was chiming in with a lot during those tactical timeouts, which seems to have turned this ship around completely.
Early A aggression this time from Hungary, pushing all the way through. Enterprise are taking a slower start to this round.
Kind of forced into it as well.
Yeah. The mid-control being battled for. Corey, the man you were pointing out previously, playing in towards the cubby. A lot of utility used early here from Enterprise, but they haven't gained full ground. Corey just stands in the flames and was very reliant on landing the shots there, but he was successful.
Yeah, nothing will stop Corey from getting at least one kill in a round now, Hawker. You know, he may be standing in fire, but he will go down with a ship. A kill comes through for Corey. 4 versus 3 because of the kill of Fleeve elsewhere. It's given them that man advantage to play with, and Enterprise are now down 2 players. They have got mid-control, but they don't have much else. This is starting to flounder at this point for Enterprise. They're really trying to figure out, is there an opening? Is there a chance back into this game? And right now, Enterprise, I think we're starting to see an end to their T-sided success. I think we've seen that a long time ago. We'll see if Forzi and the Live can start to pull this off. Coolio is very recessive in his position on the A site right now.
That means Alive can just gain all the ground. The CTs were really far away here, so a smoke goes down, cutting off the CTs. The bomb is taking its time to get planted, though. Finally, Forzi commits to it, but that means the CTs have got back into position, ready for the retake.
Alive's position, he really should be landing it. It's going to be so important, but Alive is in a very good position there. Aaron has to walk into him. He's at the ready for the kill to come through as Enterprise starting to crumble. They've lost their players. Coolio and Fleeve will find the final. And a round out of Fleeve that we love to see. You know, Fleeve had a massive performance over on Nuke. That's the round that might just start to see that explosive Fleeve come into play as well, because massive 3K there. You know, you have Corey who's been having the main impact in the round. He's gone down early on. You've got to look to someone else, and who else other than Fleeve?
Yeah, he's been their go-to guy throughout the series.
We've had, this is a left-handed gamer coming in, but we've had a lot of different situations here. I think the most famous, though, obviously has to be Bonding. His setting position is very unique.
I like that they make sure that the left-handed gamer is on the left side. That's important. You don't want him accidentally hitting his mouse against someone else's mouse.
It's like in school when you used to have a left-handed writer.
Exactly.
And it would just keep going on your page. So, 7-7. Last round, or the first half as we enter round 15. Corey's push up through in towards Cave. Might just get a kill here. Elsewhere, they have found their opening. And Corey, he's actually missed a shot. So, chucking down some utility to try and help him out. And that double up setup towards Cave is working out. I don't think they're ready for 2 ops to be positioned over here, but it's working out well so far. They might be under a lot of pressure if Enterprise were to ramp up the pace into the B site, but they have stopped all of these early plays from Enterprise.
It's not even Fleeve with the AWP. It's the other players AWPing right now on that B side of the map, which is cool to see from Team Hungary. At this point, with a 2-man advantage, even with the damage done to the AWPers, they should be feeling good about their chances. There are still chances for it to fall apart if these individual fights go against them, though. They're still spread out.
Yeah, Petito is posted with the AWP, and no longer will he be there because he switched out position. Aaron is allowing him to rotate back while he watches this red room play. He's got the AWP posted. Needs to be careful because they smoked him off, and now he needs to call to his teammates on A. You have to worry about the flank, but where's the info? Petito doesn't look back, and he gets caught looking the wrong way. Forcing inside of the smoke. A kill for him in a second, and this is all tumbling down for Team Hungary. Coolio trying to pull it back and pull up the socks of Team Hungary in this fight. And a 2 versus 2 now established because of his 1 kill. And the bomb, it needs to go down. Fleeve is there to stop it. And now a 1 versus 1. Fleeve versus Forcey. 14 seconds left. Not a lot of time here for Enterprise to win the round. They go for the fight. And Forcey brings down Fleeve to secure another round as they leave the first half ahead. It's 7 for Enterprise on their map pick. And man, where are the comms there for Team Hungary in the last round?
The wide swing at the end to close it too. It could have still gone their way, but the communication clearly off as that push comes in behind them. And that's really what opened up the scenario, because it's once they get that kill onto the Temple player that the CTs feel as though they have to kind of force the issue on the rotate, because they've lost that player so soon, because he was caught out entirely. And then there was just a player sitting in that red room smoke and just playing around it really well. Once the CTs pushed in towards him, he's able to take some easy pickings. Forsey being the main man in the round, able to close it out at the end. But it is still a good comeback there from Hungary. They've pulled it back to a close first half. 8-7 lead for Enterprise. It's still anyone's game here as we switch sides.
Enterprise with a good start in the first half. They're going to try and replicate that here again after closing the final round of the first half itself alive. In particular, off to a great start here as the Torperetti start to unload and unleash hell, perhaps, on some of the Team Hungary players as Badito and Fleet begin to pull it back. Lovely shots out of the P250. Finally, Fleet dealt with, but Cooley was there to take his place, and now Mattis, okay, 2 kills. Lovely headshots to close it out, and they come in such a quick succession. He is so ready for the second player.
He's been having a quiet game too. Really nice time to step up with some impact, winning the clutch for his team on the pistol round. An all-important round win coming through. And that is the early success that Enterprise were looking for. The pistol rounds on the first map weren't good for them, but it's gone better for them on this one. And those pistol rounds can always make a good bit of difference, especially after this game was starting to slip away from them. Getting off to the good start is ideal here in this second half. And they are on that CT side now, so even if they did start to fall flat at the end of that first half, just getting so many rounds early, as you pointed out, it's probably enough for them. And with the pistol round win now on the CT side, Enterprise should be feeling good, but they've still got to make sure they handle this force buy.
Yeah, that T-side force buy after getting the bomb down can be so good, and look what they've got so far. They've got mid-control, they've got an opening kill. Yes, has been traded out, but look how much damage they've done onto Diaz. He's down so low on health. And they might just go into the B-side, Hawk, and there's only one player over here defending right now. It just so happens to be that low player of Diaz. This could be a bomb plant at a minimum for Team Hungary, but maybe even the round win if they get in quickly.
Yeah, they may even be favored to win the round with the current positioning in play. They have a smoke at the ready. Diaz has to play it pretty passively at this point. The scout rotates over, good damage done, but Flea finds the frag, and now they have full control.
Oh, and Coolio is close by with a MAC-10. That's going to charge its way forward and rip apart the low HP player, but it's actually Flea on the AK that's picked up 2. And now they know Alive is around the corner, and Flea is a hunter. He has found his prey. And Team Hungary fight back with the force buy in the second round. Nothing the Enterprise side could have done about that blistering pace.
Yeah, they get so far up towards B that they're able to get into the site really quickly. Just that 1-for-1 trade is really valuable to have at the start of the round too. Bringing it back to the 4v4, taking a bit of information towards mid, taking that information away from the CTs as well, because you saw on the minimap just how far back Enterprise had to play. And now Enterprise are broke. They fully invested into this round, and they still only have pistols to show for it.
Mattis with an Eagle gets forced back further into cave. Sound Q, I think, give it away there as well. I think Corey was close enough to hear that. So aware that there has been some aggression in from the CTs, but this double stack of pyramids has got one here for Forsey. Headshot onto Fleeve, the Danger Man, the Talisman out of play at the beginning of round 18, so they've got to look for another player to step up. In recent rounds, that has been Corey. It can be Aaron as well. They need someone here for Team Hungary to take down a couple of these pistols. Reaggression into cave. It's one for Coolio. Trying to get away with a second. Just one has at least pulled it back into the 4v4. And now Badito starts to think about a play ahead in towards the side of B. And it's going to work out for a headshot. But Adias in such a strong position, especially with a distraction posted by his teammates. And now 2 players left for Team Hungary have got to dig deep. They've got to excavate their way through into the round win. And there's 2 players left here for Enterprise, and they are now dropping. Just Minkus left alone. And this needs to be a humongous play. We'll see if he can pick it up. 1 versus 2 with the Deagle. He can't cover off the cross. Corey's in was caving. A chance there for Mingus to turn it into the 1 versus 1. And Corey is so low. Mingus has the right read. And Corey's shots are good enough as he spots the legs around the peak. 9-9. Team Hungary, not an easy round, but they managed to tie up the scoreline.
I think it may have been the small gap in the wall at the end there that gives away that he's coming around sooner, so you can just spray away despite being low. Wins that final fight. This is what Ancient can turn into sometimes. Just fights all over that B bomb site. A lot of action going down, but it is Hungary who hold on, and now Enterprise are in real trouble. 5 USPs in this round. They've got a couple of flashes to try and set up some aggression.
Now, these are the rounds you can't even really afford to lose a player if you're Team Hungary. Sam Arden trying to find some money, try and figure out what you're going up against, but limiting the casualties needs to be the #1 priority. Lee with the AK looks to try and be overrun and overwhelmed, but he's dealt with it well. He's got a teammate out to help him, or he has actually got down. A second kill was on the cards there, but Fleeve with a 4K. Team Hungary now take the lead.
Face bumps all around as they get to double digits first. Dealing with the aggression well. And Vocal ahead of this next round, they realize that if they can just continue to keep that CT economy on the back burner, they could put themselves in a really good position here.
Yeah, Vocal in the comms, but I'm wondering how Vocal, the Hungarian commentary booth right in front of us, is going to be, Hawker, if they're able to pull this off. Because, again, just a reminder for everybody at home, Team Hungary currently a map up here in Budapest. And one more win will put them into the main event. Fleeve leading the charge, peeking over the top of the boxes, and now diving back in behind the molly. Didn't really get too much from the first attempt. Goes to double dip, but sometimes double dipping doesn't work out, Hawker. So you triple dip.
Double dipping. Oh, Forsey wins that fight, but the rotate over to B from Enterprise is quite heavy here, and this was never a B play. That was just trying to sell the fake. That was just them trying to draw the attention. Angus is going to be alone over towards A, and he has to hold this.
He's in a decent spot to try and get one and maybe just stay alive or drop back into CT, but these smokes, they're now calling towards him that this is going to be an A play. Rotation starting to come through from the remaining players for the defense. Not a single kill comes through from Angus, so Team Hungary have got the advantage, pulled back into the 4v4. As they go to plant the bomb in the site, there's not much they can do about it here, Enterprise. A retake needs to happen, Hawker, and look at the utility they've got to do it. It's not a whole lot. Luckily, Forsey comes in with a headshot.
Still in position. He's been spotted and he's out in the open. Swung from both sides, but he's still alive. Finally found, but Corey with 2 up above, and Forsey has nothing left to say about that one. Hungary just forced their way onto the A site. That presence towards B worked early. There were 4 CTs rotated over to B early in the round, and even though they don't instantly pounce on that A site, they take a bit of time. It is still just one man on A, and the way they smoked the default box there and put the molly behind it was a really nice way of forcing that player back. There was not really much of an opportunity for them to deny that bomb plant. Despite Hungary not having too many positions to play the post plant from, they played together and put Enterprise back down to this weak buy. And this is the way that Hungary want to win this. They just want to keep steamrolling that economy.
Well, they've surged for mid-control, and they've done that well, but look at some of the aggression from Enterprise. They're trying to come out of cave with a couple of pistols. Medino's catching them on the fallback. No retreating, they go down. And Enterprise, the round was difficult to begin with, Hawker. Now even more difficult with the weaponry they've been dealt and the disadvantage this quick into the round. Enterprise, if they want to stay in this comfortable situation, in this best of 3 and still have a shot to try and go through to the main event today, they've got to try and pick this win up. But it's starting to look like Team Hungary will be surging forward to that final scoreline that'll get them over the line into that main event. Enterprise, of course, not expected to do much in this round with what they've got brought to the table, but it is the future rounds, particularly this one coming up, where they've got to perform better.
Team Hungary are doing a good job at just pressuring across the map in some of these rounds. Feels really difficult for Enterprise to exactly read where the play will be coming against them. The problem you can have when you pressure across the map like that is if you start losing the fights, there oftentimes isn't much of a way to get back into it. So we'll see if Team Hungary continue to play in a similar way. Important round here for Enterprise. They have gone on a heavy loss streak here after a back and forth start to this second half. Team Hungary was starting to pull away now. Molly's exchanged over towards B early. Nade bounces back, but Benito has been taken down to half health elsewhere. Matty's staying committed into this Jaguar angle. He's got a player behind him too. They've got that double stack. There's only one man on the site, and he's been dealt with.
Yeah, but they do have that cave control, so they can start to make it a little more difficult to get onto the site if you're hungry and at least plant the bomb. Mattis in particular has found an incredibly important kill elsewhere onto Corey. But this is what we talk about with the ancient changes. You can spam through this route. You can make it difficult for the T's to get on towards the site because the spams are so good. The kills come through for the CT side, and it's all on Aaron. You know, we've talked about him, how fantastic he can be, but this round is just not one of those rounds. I just don't feel like he's going to get a shot. So he's dropping back into middle. The bomb is nowhere near his possession right now. It's going to be watched over towards the other side of the map. Aaron has got to find a way to pull off the impossible. And there's even a player towards this side of the map.
Angus has now moved away. Repositioning briefly, which opens the window for Aaron, who still wants to see if he can find that kill. Well, Mangus might get caught in the back. 20 seconds remaining, though. So Aaron, sneaking in behind, wants to get that bomb back. It's firmly on the B site at this point. The time is too far. Nice kill onto the first man, but Alive was waiting the entire time. Enterprise back to 10 rounds. And those wall bangs just so good. I thought we might see Hungary go ahead and just try and plant behind the pillar, because they seem to have control of the right side of the site. They didn't even smoke off that right side of the site. They were pushed all the way in, but they tried to spam back towards that cave area, which is just going to give away where you are. And you saw the spam for the CTs was clearly favored.
Also, a couple of players did get caught in transition to that side of the site. So it was just a weird occasion. And I was bringing up the point of, okay, they have cave control, so losing that player inside of the site isn't the biggest problem, but it shouldn't have been that successful, Holker, right? You never really see that much success out of those spams coming through. Unless you're Rain.
Yeah, Rain's good at those. Rain's got all the angles. He knows them all.
Dude, I walked into a shop here in Hungary when I first landed. Just
You're going to say some story about how you met Rain or something?
No, there's a giant picture of him just immediately at the door. It was pretty cool. I was like, damn, we're in the land of Counter-Strike.
The land of Counter-Strike. Team Hungary are doing pretty well right now. They're proving that point with the 12-10 lead. Oh, those mollies are going to shred Aaron. He ran into 2 separate mollies there, burning him down and making sure that Mattis had an easy kill. I think they were trying to smoke it. It just came way too late. I think he was trying to get his teammate to smoke for him so he could just run through. But that clearly didn't happen.
If Enterprise win this round, they're right back in contention to steal this one away again. Hungary were getting into the driver's seat. They were jostling for position at the steering wheel. But Enterprise have bounced back. They've got that A main control. They have information it won't be the A split at least. They are rotating another player back over to A, just in case they're coming through Donut. That's something they're worried about right now. Maybe even the red room split because they don't have a player up there. So they could split A from that side. So they have to be aware of that, and it looks like they might want to go for that call because they're now taking that mid-control, they're taking Donut, they smoked out the red room, and this seems to be the only option available to them.
It's Forcey's AWP waiting for them, though, and it's really hard to flash him off this angle.
Yeah, he's got at least one here. Forcey goes in with another, and a peek onto Fleeve will not find the follow-up kill, so at least Fleeve gets that trade in quickly enough, but it's not going to give them the advantage. The Molotov towards CT is going to force them back, at least give it a few more seconds to get that bomb down. But look at Mangus' position coming out of main. He can be the player that starts off this retake attempt. He can be the nuisance as he clears out the site. They can start to call towards him. They have to be towards Donuts in this post plant, but look at the flank from Coolio.
Nades. They can just smoke it.
And look at Coolio, though. He's coming in with a big flank, and Fleeve has come through. The utility finally starts to come in from the CTs, but you've got to keep eyes on the flank, who's still coming around the backside. And Coolio can't get anything, but enough of a distraction was made. And Team Hungary take the final kills. They'll take their round. And once again, continue to storm head into the lead.
I like the way Mangus played patiently, pushed into his aggressive position on A main. But like you pointed out, that is a heads-up play from Team Hungary to realize playing that post plant just from Donut is not the best way to go about it. You've got to make sure you have another play in mind. You've got to make sure you have another way of causing some chaos. So flanking round the back was really well timed, even if it wasn't a clean flank that came through, even if it wasn't as clinical as they would have wanted, it wins them the round. And now Enterprise are on their last legs here. They have to go back down to Deegs again. This would be the perfect time for a pop-off round from one of the Enterprise players. Glox. They're about to go 14-10 down if they can't step up in this one.
Mingus at the ready. Eagle holding the cross as Benito swings around. Looking to span through the smoke as now Team Hungary have taken the site, but problems being made because the bomb's not down. In fact, 2 shots in the Deagle have rung through. And they've given an advantage to play with here for Enterprise. Finally committing to the bomb plant. It's a scary game trying to plant the bomb down inside of the A site, even when the smokes are up. And now 2 players stand here for the T site. Kills coming through the lineup on the 2, and Corey nearly goes back for a 3rd. A 1 versus 1. Coolio on the AK. Mattis has found another one, but he has no idea where his opponent is. And Coolio, with the element of surprise, comes in for the 1v1. Team Hungary, another round picked up as they are getting ever so close to that main event spot.
You see why committing into A early like that can be scary. They lose a couple of early kills. If that was a full gun round where the CTs have rifles, I'm not even sure that bomb gets planted. But because it's the Deegs trying to spam through the smokes, it's more difficult for them to put as many bullets into the bomb site. So thankfully for Hungary, they got that bomb planted quickly enough, and then they're able to play the post plant well to win it. It's now Enterprise who have to win this gun round. They have been struggling on their CT side. They're struggling again, but Alive should have a freebie right back.
Lovely kill from Alive onto Corey. 4v4 established, equilibrium will play out as they look to play, and oh, Diaz gets timed on with a knife pull out. That's going to give the T's a chance to get onto the site. They've been fantastic at denying the bomb plant and using the spams and cave control. And they did have a chance to plant the bomb there, but it come off it. And that's going to give a few more seconds now for the CTs to get involved. A kill from Diaz. Coolio, where the reply is quick. But there's still a downer player here on Team Hungary. There's still down a member, and it's all going to fall down around him. Enterprise with 11 rounds. And that is just a little bit of a mistake coming in from Hungary in that site. A little bit of a fumble, it seemed, when they got into the site itself, Hawker.
Sloppy stuff there from Team Hungary. They go for the contact play fully into B, which is always going to be dangerous. And then they don't really seem to have an idea in mind as to how they're going to use their utility. They have loads of nades here as they moved into the site, but they didn't use those smokes early to cut off some of these positions. They didn't really use any utility on the aggression. It goes against them, and now they're broke. Oh, the run boost for Forzy. He's going to get full B control. They know B's completely clear right now. So the Glocks are really screwed now.
Yeah, we're always screwed at the beginning of this round,
But now
Hawker.
they're extra screwed.
Yeah. Imagine that, getting extra screw, Hawker.
Maybe you'll get extra screwed tonight if you play your cards right.
All right, okay. Well, here we go. Smoke goes down in towards A main. That's going to smoke off the Glocks. Trying to transition back into the game here, of course, but there's a little bit of a boost potentially coming in here. That nade's going to land right on top of it. Horsey with the headshot wall buying elsewhere. And the nade is meaty. And here come the Glocks. Best chance for them is try and get a bomb plant, but Mingus with a nice little transfer there. Using the A1S to get a 4-man spray down. You can't really do that too often, so at least he gets away with it there. Round comes through for Enterprise. They were expected to win that round, but here we go. Timeouts are in. We know everything is on the line in these kind of rounds. These could be the decisive moments. And again, it's Team Hungary taking the timeout. They love to get everybody involved. Just make sure they're all on the right page coming into such an important round.
You see Magnus here. He just knows that it's going to be a play towards A. He knows his teammates have full control of B, so he puts down the nade preemptively. And then I love that he just sprays to the body there. If you know it's going to be players that don't have Kevlar and you've softened them up with the nade, it makes it much easier to just have that multi-kill spray down with the shots to the body. So good decision making there against the low buy. Let's see if they can keep it up against the gun round. 31 frags for Corey, 25 for Fleeve. Some of the T Hungary players have been playing really well to try and get them over the line, but it's not guaranteed yet. 14-12, Enterprise starting to fight back. Hungary have had a couple of sloppy rounds recently. That timeout hopefully will help them make sure they can get back on track here.
Horsey trying to go aggressive. Trying to be the man that opens up the round and gives them the advantage to play with as Mattis dancing with the wall banks. You know, I've seen a lot of those so far in this game, but going to be opening up the round this time. Good job at locking down the cave control on Jaguar.
Wow. That AWP is committed to an aggressive angle, Forcy.
Yeah.
Even if he gets a kill and tucks in, well, there's no molly, actually. So it will be quite hard for them to flush him out of that corner.
He's just holding for at least one. He's got the rifle supported behind him to try and back him up. This could be an absolute blunder if the T's don't play it correctly. Team Hungary know this is such an important round. Their money is not fantastic at all. There's not much utility at all in this round as we go under a minute left. Enterprise are in a better spot. They've got better map control at this point. Team Hungary have to try and fight for it. They've got to create some space, and now it's an A play coming through from Corey, leading the charge elsewhere. Forcey actually got brought down in towards Cave, so that AWP didn't actually manage anything towards the other side of the map that we were watching before this. But Corey has made his play and gained some control back for the T's towards Temple. And he spotted the shadow, but he can't react quick enough. The Alive is ready for it, and he peeks right into him. Corey down, and a man advantage now for Enterprise.
Magus should hear the steps here.
Yeah, and Ray's at the ready. He had a spray down against Glocks. Can he do it against the rifles this time? He certainly can. Mine gets in with a 3K, 3 down, and he smashes them as Enterprise find another.
Team Hungary took the timeout ahead of this round, and you wonder whether they've just got in their heads slightly after seeing that one. They sit in a default across the map for the first 50 seconds, not really taking any ground, not really taking any map control. Yeah. Corey gets deep into A, but he has to call to his teammates to run all the way back from B. They were so far away, they couldn't help him. So it was basically all on Corey to get that aggressive play early. As soon as he goes down, the round goes with him, and now they're stuck on Deegs.
And the money's got with it as well. $2,900 loss bonus going into this round though, so they are going to be saving up to buy into the next round as Forcey comes through. Corey down and out of the round. Forcey is really starting to find his impact in the late rounds here, Hawker.
Stepping up in the recent rounds. He's playing on the edge of this smoke.
Should be good against the Glocks, no problem.
You'd hope so. Although if he does go down, the AK would be recoverable.
Oh no.
And they will get that AK into their hands.
Yeah, awkward positioning, so smoke fading away. First bullet accuracy wasn't quite there, had to recover the spray, and does get overwhelmed. And now Aaron has an AK. Surely not much more can be found of this. He spotted out his opponent, Adias, jumping in behind the pillar. Does speak out again for the headshot as we tie the game. 14-14. Overtime, a real possibility, or even upsets here as they go to a third map potential if Enterprise win this one in a winner's matchup. Team Hungary have got the bye again though, Hawker. Timeouts, not a lot of them left at all.
Yeah, they've used a lot of timeouts up to this point. And this is where it might be worth Team Hungary having a call out of spawn. They went for the default in the earlier round. They didn't really get anything going. They didn't really get any chance to actually gain ground or find much success. And in this one, they have all gone over to B early. This could be quick.
It is quick, coming in from Fleeve, trying to open up the round. One player left behind the pillar alone. He's low HP, very low, but Adias is still alive. Inside of the smoke, goes towards Cubby in the spam through the smoke, and the wall gets the headshot. Coolio burns away Adias, but he stayed alive, and that bomb is not gone down. Hungary just don't plant the bomb when they're on this side of the map, and they pull a molly in the open. Swinging around the corner alive and shut down the bomb plant, and he found more. 3 kills for alive, and it's all on Coolio. Once again, Hungary find the site, but they don't put the bomb down. 15-14 for the Enterprise as 1 round left, and we're going to another.
Hungary are calling for these fast B plays, but they don't know what they're doing with their utility. They need to figure out who's using the nades there, who's using the utility to keep them in a position where they can actually get the bomb plant. They're even throwing the bomb around on the site instead of getting it down quickly, and Alive can just line them up.
Yeah, this molly play as well. They were trying to run with a Molotov in their hand long side. It's just in the open. Just decided to pull a Molotov while running down in the most contentious part of the map. All right, well, 15-14 as we go round 30. Overtime, or it's misery for Hungary as we have to go to the third. Good early map control taken from the T side as they go back into the mid play. No A control at all though, so might lean in towards a B split. Right now though, Corey's held outside of B. There's not a lot of info being picked up, nor control for him at the B ramp. He's trying to play in around that smoke, but meanwhile in the red room, the first fight will ensue. Forcey needs to get out of dodge. They don't know where he is. They thought he was in the close red room, but instead he's just at CT side.
And look at the aggression from Matties. He gets the backstab, but Corey snuck into B. That kill could be crucial because now Matties has to come back to B. Everyone is all over the map right now.
They know where Petito is, and he's making a lot of noise, and they're about to peek him alive. We'll bring him down. And now it is just these 2 players remaining for Team Hungary to try and drag them kicking and screaming through to overtime. The bomb is so slow at getting towards the site. They want Corey to play first contact, and he's only managed 1. Now Aaron has to win the round on low HP versus 2, and it's not going to be easy for him to blitz his way through this. He would need a bone-shaking clutch, and he's got 1. This could be it. Can he force his opponent? Can Alive clutch this out for Enterprise and take the win, or Aaron force him to drink from the poison chalice? He's gone to the other side of the map. He thinks Aaron's beelined back to the other side. In fact, he's gone through middle, so Aaron has a chance to make his way into the site and put the bomb down.
But I don't know if Aaron feels comfortable planting. It's so hard to plant on this B site.
He's
And
got
the
A.
flank is... Oh, he's actually got A.
He's got A through a donut. There's no reason to believe, but Aaron is just going to commit to it. He has to plant now with a limited time, so he's going to put that down in the site, and Aaron has plenty of time to now reposition because the Alive has gone donut. He now realizes he's made the wrong call because it's down on B.
Aaron's watching back towards Shelf. Playing super passively. He'll just wait for that tap of the bomb. But the Alive has got a molly. If he can figure this out and put that molly in the right place, that alone could win them the map.
And Aaron can't force his way through the molly either because he's so low. He would have to immediately hit the shots. The headshot needs to land immediately if he is to push the Molotov if placed in the right position. And he looks to place it exactly where it needs to go. He gets beyond it, but he's off the bomb immediately. Aaron held in behind it. Sound cue for Alive. He's still checking Kiv. He doesn't know. He has no idea. And Aaron nearly pulls it through, but one bullet from the Alive comes through, and that will be the round. The Enterprise, they nearly get it done, but I just don't understand the decision making at the last point of the round, Hawker. I don't know what's happened here with the camera either. I want to get back into the game if possible.
He should have heard the molly there. He should have heard the molly ticks. But even if he doesn't, there's such little time left. You've just got to take the risk of sticking the bomb. Doesn't do it, and that means we still go ahead and go on. Oh, you can see the pressure getting to these teams. I think as soon as Team Hungary took that timeout at 14-12, you can see this game has just turned into a pressure scenario where it's just who makes the fewest mistakes that might get this map.
Yeah, of course, we didn't get to catch the end, but overtime secured. Team Hungary have pulled it all the way back. Just the time that the Alive took to get back into that situation, to try and get back into the round win. It's heartbreaking, but you've got to just throw it out the window now. It's all down to overtime. A lot of time that's having used for Team Hungary, so they won't be able to use those coming into OT if it gets into a pressure situation.
Going straight in, they have a plan in mind here. Hungary have the two smokes dropped to Coolio, grouping up outside A, but look at the rotate from Enterprise. They've got a decent idea this could be coming.
And a peek down in towards the site. Pedito's come through with a bomb on his back, and he's down. Their second kill for Forcey secured. The CT's off to a brilliant start, and Aaron, the man that dragged them through, kicking and screaming. Through the OT as Forcey looks towards the site. Coolio down, looking for the second. Forcey's having a fantastic show, very confident to keep moving forward and take down every opponent in front of him. Aaron tries his best, but so many players in and around him that he was likely to fall quickly after. But there's a round. Forcey, what a performance from him.
What a way to start overtime. Straight in with an ace. The movement was nice around those temple angles. You've got a lot of ability to move and just really take shots from different angles with that AWP. He did that to perfection, and they just had that rotate over before the play came in. They were stacked towards B at the start of the round in case there was a rush there, but it's harder to go for a fast play towards A, so they rotate back in time, and Hungary are still going for these plays where they group up early. This time, though, they're going towards B.
The cave control from Forcey, again getting an opening, but Ito peeks right into him, and it's not like Forcey hasn't done this, Hawk. He's done this so many times. And now they're going to try and run him down. They're going to try and pressure the AWP. He's committed in there alone. There's no rifle support this time to back up Forcey, but they have got rotations. They have got multiple players in the cave, and they're not ready for the second. 3 players gone around, and the whiffs come in from Mattis, but he's able to recover the 3K as they're setting up utility. 3 kills from Mattis, and that's a nightmare for Team Hungary, as now Fleeve is alone in a 1 versus 3. Those are the kind of rounds they'll sit in the back of your head all day long if you lose Ancient, because those rounds cannot be overlooked. That is a disaster inside of the cave.
It wasn't even the cleanest spray down with the AK,
No, it
but they
wasn't.
just had literally no idea he could be there. I assume that the comms were just crazy at that point. They were probably calling, he's behind me, oh, I don't know. They don't know what's going on. They end up all going down.
I need to see this player who gets up on the ledge. What is he doing here? So
He's throwing nades.
He's setting up utility. He just immediately goes to start set it up and just gets caught. I think his teammates should have been there to back him up and not really expecting the player to be there, but mid-control established early. Again, heavy utility coming through towards elbow. The double mollying down that position. A lot of utility blown early, but it gets them this map control, and Forcey is so dynamic. Another different position at the start of the round for him.
This kill onto B has drawn a rotation away, but the bomb is not committed to either side yet. It looks like the bomb will finally start to come back to B now, but there's a flank coming in through mid, and Aaron needs to be ready. He should have the shadow.
Oh, Aaron does indeed, but does he look for the second player? Corey elsewhere getting kills here for Team Hungary as they've recovered and flipped this round on its head entirely. The 2 remaining CTs are disjointed. They're not together. They can't mount a combined effort to win this round. And so for Enterprise, this is looking very unwinnable. Try and get him at point. In fact, Aaron has stuck around. He does get his reward for his patience into the mid plate. And Mingus, they're aware they're trying to eliminate the final piece of the puzzle, and they will. 17-16 at the half. It is still Enterprise that lead the way out of their CT side, but they would have loved the flawless CT half coming in. So Team Hungary very happy about at least getting around out of their first half.
And in that round, Hungary still played fairly aggressive at the start of the round, but it wasn't just an instant rush in with 5 players pushing the same position. Because those are the rounds that they were struggling in because there was an AWP just waiting for them. And at the lower level, sometimes you can get away with rushing down an AWP without using nades, but at the top level, a lot of times AWPs will just shut you down when you do that. So they finally figure it out in that final round. Still playing fairly aggressive though. Corey has just been looking for fights all map long. Clearly feeling it right now. They're still down at the half here in overtime.
You guys can listen into their comms, see how focused in they are, how cool and collected they are in this high-pressure situation. Round 34. We're looking for the magic number of 19. Whichever team hits that in overtime 1 will be the victors of this map, and potentially the series if Team Hungary can pull it off, but Enterprise still in the lead. Team Hungary have switched over to the CT side. They're going to be on the defense. They're going to go heavy with that cave control again. Enterprise are not going to have much resistance in the mid play early. They're out there with 3 players.
Control will go the way of Enterprise. We'll see what they decide to do with it. This bait and switch setup established again. Leave the first point of contact with the AWP while Aaron waits close by, but Aaron is taking the fight to them.
Oh, he's going for an info play alone, and it's worked out because he had a 1-for-1 fight against the Diaz. No trade potential at all there for the T sides. They've lost their man advantage, but that whole mid play was just to get one player into position up into Red Room. So they've got that option that can cut off rotations if they want to go for this B hit. They have that player up at Red Room that can stop these A players from getting over safely. Problem is now we're starting to get into that 40-second mark, and Enterprise haven't really taken significant map control at all towards B. And here comes another aggressive play. This time they win it against Corey, and that is going to open up the side again as the T side have a shot thanks to that play as they charge their way through. Mingus onto Bedito in a massive performance out of the T side. They take down 3 players, and just Coolio left alive in a 1 versus 4. He'll start to walk back in, but Mingus already aggressive. Explosive finish to the round there from Enterprise. They needed to go B. I think Corey gave them a great opening to go for it.
There's that aggression we were talking about coming in from Corey. He's just wanted to fight all map long, but that's a scenario where he may be better off playing with his AWPer on the site. You see Fleeve having to rotate back around, having to try and cover it off. I think he saw that first player running up to the site, but he just assumed there would be more Enterprise players coming up the ramp later that he could get the kill on. That never happened. That player on the site comes back to get that frag, and now Enterprise have 2 opportunities to take this map. Take us to a third.
And Team Hungary, they're going to be looking for their opportunity to drag it back to another overtime. Trying to send us to that double OT to continue to fight for a chance here on Ancient. And you start to realize, every player so far in defense have stepped in that Molotov and just given away everything. Just trying to get nades out before they concede the position completely.
Ooh. Corey's nearly dead from that molly.
Yeah, sticking around this util. He's 10 HP at the beginning of the round. This is a nightmare start for Hungary. They've conceded a lot of map control. They don't have cave. They don't have middle. The T's are in a very good spot at the moment.
And now if you fight for top mid against Corey, it's going to be so hard for him to get a kill here on just 10 health with the AUG. Maybe he can fire one, but it's Mattis on the other side to find the headshot, and look at all the control Enterprise have to work with now.
Yeah, this map is just cracked right open. They have everything they can do right now. They have all the options available to them. Do they want to go towards A? They're fighting towards Temple. They find the kill there, and that's opened up completely into the defense. And there's just 1 player left instead. It's Coolio. Fleeve still getting kills, but Coolio needed to do more. But the bomb's been dropped, and Fleeve has stopped it from getting towards the site. Aaron coming into play as well. And now Team Hungary suddenly have a chance to win this round. This is a bit of a nightmare for Enterprise. They're going to have to try and recover that bomb. They've done that. The smoke in towards CT has allowed the recovery mission to be successful, and they brought the bomb back into the site. They've committed to the plant, and now it has to be a retake for Team Hungary. If they want back into the site, they've got to find these crucial close kills, and Mattis is the player close right, and he knows the AWP is there. He's pushing in on the timing. Fleet gets 1, though, and it's all on Mattis. 1 versus 1 up against Aaron, and he's just going to stick it around the other side. Oh, he's got big bolt, but he comes off the defuse. He had it. He had the defuse, lose, but it's not going to be the comeback. 1916, it's Enterprise that will send us to a third map. And Hungary, if they want to make it through to the main event, Hawker, they've got to do it in 3. Enterprise right back into the series now.
Much more sloppy than they would have wanted, but the map win is the main thing that they care about at this point. Getting it over the line, and that overtime just turned into a crazy affair. There were so many rounds that we were confused by, so many rounds where players either make mistakes or don't clear angles, but that's what these scenarios can come down to. These guys are playing in a level of tournament they haven't really played before. That pressure can get to you, but for Enterprise, they managed to ride it through.
Yeah, and for Enterprise, you know, taking the map pick, yes, but look at the fashion they had to do it, right? They were really pushed to the limit, and it was clear to me that Team Hungary didn't look that comfortable on this map either. You know, once they got into the site, they didn't really know what to do, right? They were on that B site. How many times? They just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, they were relying on a lot of quick plays there at the end, just trying to just 5-man push positions, really turn it into that brawl, but just never happened.
Yeah, well, there's lots of Counter-Strike still to come as we head into our final map of the day. We're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, we'll hear the thoughts of James Spines and our guys on the desk.
before. And I love you like no one ever loved anyone before. And I love you like no one ever loved anyone before. And I love you like no one ever loved anyone before. I know, yes I know.
The unique cultural heritage of the Visegrad Four and their 30-year collaboration enrich Europe. The past year and a half has produced unprecedented challenges, which we have faced by helping each other. Europe and the world are entering a new era, and the Visegrad countries are joining forces to shape the continent's future. Recharging Europe.
You are not my friends, you are my brothers, my friend.